I love talking about scams. I shared the Uber scam, the how not to get free rent scam, and the latest scam appears to be in New Jersey, like on the Turnpike, which is like the highway interstate, and there's a special curve somewhere. We don't drive, so I don't know where this is, but there's a curve where everybody has to slow way down and then stop and then go this way to merge into traffic. So it's a perfect spot to park your car, get out of your car, wave at somebody, hey, pretending you're stuck on the road, you need help. And because they're slowing way down, people tend to stop and help people on that curve. Well, it seems that there are several different people. The rumor is they're traveling gypsies, and they have different cars. They don't travel in wagons anymore. They travel in cars and trucks. And every day you see a new family, wink, wink family, out there stuck asking for help in that curve. And there are people who take pictures and say, hey, they're out there again. Be careful. Watch out. And some people even have photographs of, I think it's New Jersey State Patrol, parked behind them with their lights on. Because the State Patrol, the police, know exactly what's going on. And they're telling them to move on and stop scamming people. So, hey, what's the scam? Someone's broken down on the side of the road. I'm a nice person. I was raised in the Midwest. I'm from a foreign land. We help each other on the road. So, some people stop. And this one woman was saying how she saw this family and she stopped to help them. And immediately everyone in the group was, gasping, saying, oh, no, don't do that. So the woman got, out of her car, and the father came over, always professional, always non-threatening, very smooth. And he starts telling her his story. Hey, we're almost out of gas. We have just enough gas in the car to get to the next gas station. Do you think you could help us with a couple of dollars of gas so we can be on our way? And this happened to be a woman, and so the woman, didn't really know if she wanted to say yes or not. Her car was running, she kind of wants to get home, but she was thinking about it. And so the guy, very professionally, said, well, hey, look, I'll give you my wedding ring. And he takes this gold wedding ring off his finger, gives it to the woman. He says it's worth at least $500. You can keep it, so if there's any trouble or you're ever uncomfortable, you keep the ring and we'll call it even. So the woman thinks, well, I don't know. I guess I could. And she said, okay, I'll help you out. Because the woman, kind of looks in the car and sees there's a young child in the car and a wife in the car, and, they're stranded. Or so they say. So they get together at the gas station, which is like you slow down on the curve, then you take a right, and I guess the gas station is sort of like nearby. So they get out of the car, and the woman is getting ready to pay a little bit of money for the gas, and the father comes over again. And he says, oh, by the way, maybe you could help us out. And the woman's thinking, wait a minute, I'm already helping you out. Now it's a scam. She's her spidey sense is starting to tingle. But she listens, and the father says, well, I have a new job, and it's like 1,000 miles away. This is for my family. Do you think that you could, in addition to the gas, thank you, because she filled up their tank for whatever, $20 worth of gas, whatever it is. We don't drive. He said, do you think you could, loan me $500? so I can continue to fill up my car with gas so I can get to my new job, have a new start in life, because I'm dark-skinned and the world is against me. And I tried to pawn that gold ring that I gave you to hold on to for $500. I tried to pawn it. Pawn store said they wouldn't deal with me because of who I am. And then the wife is saying, please, please, help us, help us. And then the young child starts pleading and crying and says, please, please help us. We're trying to have a new life. And what the woman doesn't realize is they're all acting and they're all in on this together. And they do it, they do this show 10 times a day on different sides of the road, trying to get money from people. So the woman says, well, looking at the child, I guess I could help you a little bit. And the father said, yes, and you keep my ring. You can go to any pawn store and get at least $500 for it. You're not losing any money on this deal. So the woman goes to the ATM at the gas station, and she only has $400 in her bank account. And he wanted $500. So she takes out the $400, goes over to the family, gives the money to the father. And the woman said before she could get into her car, the family that was so desperate to get her help, they all loaded back into their car and sped away. So they're gone with her $400 and a full tank of gas. And she's standing there with her door open, and it dawns on her, I think I just got scammed. So that's when she went to the group and told this story, and she said, was this a scam? Or I like to help people. I don't have a lot of money. And people said, yes, it's 100% a scam. And this is very well known in New Jersey, that these traveling gypsies come in and they take turns, and especially at that one spot, and they prey on nice people. So you're a nice person, and bad people did something to you. And the price of your lesson is $400 and a tank full of gas. And the woman said, well, should I, take this to a pawn shop and see if I can get my money back? And the group said, look, the ring is worthless. And right there, you should have called the father on it and said, well, why don't you go to a pawn shop? Because pawn shops will deal with anybody. Pawn shops don't care who you are, where you come from, or what color your skin is. All they care is if you have good quality merchandise that they can make money on. And if it's a genuine gold ring, they make money on jewelry. So the woman says, so this was a setup from the start. They didn't need gas. They didn't need money to go. They're not going to a new job 1,000 miles away. And the group kind of said, no. All of that was a lie. All of that was to fool you, to get them to go, to get you to go along with them to the gas station. And once they had you and you accepted that ring, they knew they had you. It was just a matter of playing you. And once the scam was done and you handed over your $400, play over. Done. The scam is finished. We're in the car and we're zooming away because maybe you'll change your mind. Maybe you want a phone number. Maybe you want to contact them later. Maybe. So the longer they stay, the more suspicious you will become, and maybe call the police or ask for help or you take a picture of their license plate. So that's why the second they got the money, they ran. And of course, they don't care if you feel that you've been ripped off because that's exactly what they did. And they're not going anywhere except probably, around the corner to split up the money. So as I've said, all of these scams rely on nice people trying to help out a stranger. And it's a sad thing. Just like these reality TV shows, these surprise shows, going back to Candid Camera in the 1950s. Mean people don't get on the show because mean people won't stop. Mean people are not funny. You really can't make fun of a mean person because they'll make fun of you back or punch you or run away. These shows rely on the kindness of people who are willing to help someone who is in need. And then they make fun of you. And maybe you'll get a little bit of money for it, for the humiliation. And maybe you'll just sign it away because you're desperate to be on television. And they rely on that. But there are some people who refuse to sign, who don't want money. They don't like that they were made fun of on television. And so some of these shows are so desperate for content that then they blur the person's face. They do this whole thing with them. They blur their face. And it's not effective. And some people say, well, some of these people on these reality shows who get fooled are hired hands, they are paid actors. You just never know. So that is my Turnpike scam story. Be careful out there. If the story sounds too good, be careful. If the story is not good enough, watch out. And I am reminded the other day of the woman who did the Uber street scam with Jana the other day. That same woman approached me and came up to me, wanting me to, use my Uber account to get her, 2 blocks away so she could see her injured mother. I knew it the second she tried to stop me. And my philosophy with these people who want to run scams on you is to never slow down, don't make eye contact with them, and I've learned just to say, whenever they ask me something, no thank you. Now, usually for a moment, that jars them because that's not in their script. That's not part of their scam for someone to say no thank you. No thank you to what? What do you mean no thank you? I'm not offering you anything. Right. You're not offering me anything. No thank you. But this woman, who looked very methed out, wasn't fooled. I kept walking, and I wanted to make sure, she wasn't going to come up on me. But I could tell by the sound of her voice that she was farther back and she wasn't getting closer. She just said, I was just trying to get directions to Elizabeth for my daughter. What do you mean, no thank you? And I just kept walking. I didn't wave. I didn't stop. I didn't turn around and look at her. I didn't say no thank you again. I just kept going. And she didn't follow me because she knew that I was not a mark to be had. And some people like to play with these people and, lead them on and, I'll get you $500. You wait here and I'll be back in an hour. And that I wouldn't do because these people are very smart. And if they smell you're trying to scam their scam, they might have a knife or a gun or just, wouldn't mind giving you a hard punch to see how it feels on you. So avoid, walk quickly. Do not lead them to where you live. Do not lead them to your car. Go around the block a little bit. Give it 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes. Walk around a little bit. And then come back and get into your car and go.